Hello stamping friends. Today I want to show you this card. This is my hello card. I actually received a swap card at our Stampin' Up! Convention, and it was given to me by my friend Lee. I loved the card. I loved how elegant it was and how simple it looked to make. So this was another card that we did at our August Stamp Clubs. Let me show you how we did it. First, I want to take a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and it is cut 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. I'm using the stamp set today called Lacy and Lovely, and I am using the wood mounted version, but it is available in clear mount. I took out the stamp that said hello, and I'm going to just ink that up in Calypso Coral. I'm going to stamp on the corner first. And the reason that I stamped first is because I'm going to be using the new pretty font. I'll have to look that up for you. It's the new embossing folder in the Holiday Mini. And I'm going to go ahead and stick that in, but I don't want my entire piece to be embossed. Otherwise, it looks like this, and I had no place to do my stamping. So that's the reason that I stamped first, and then I put it in the embossing folder. I'm going to get my Big Shot now. Scoot that up a bit. Okay. And I have my paper sandwiched in between my folder. I prefer to have designated cutting plates that are just for embossing folders only. I have found that over time, some of these folders, some of these embossing plates or cutting plates get very well loved, and they tend to warp just a bit. And when you're running your beautiful embossing folders in there, sometimes you don't get a good clean embossed area. So I'm going to put my first piece of bread down. I like to call this sandwiching. So put my first piece of bread down, and then I'm going to put my meat and cheese in there. Make sure I've got that nice and straight. Put my meat and cheese in there, and then you always have to have a sandwich going through the Big Shot. So I'm going to put my second piece of plate in, and then I'm going to cut. Let me turn this just a bit. Cut. I'm not cutting. I am running it through the embossing folder. And look how gorgeous. I don't know if you can tell really well on the video, but it is absolutely elegant. Okay, the next piece that I want to do, or the next part to my card, is I have a piece of Pool Party that I have cut 5 1/4 inches by 4 inches. And I'm going to take my 1 1/4 inch square punch from Stampin' Up. You can see what size that is. There you go. And to open this up, I'll just move the lever on the back. And now I'm going to take my piece of paper, my Pool Party, and I'm just going to punch out a piece. Okay, this is a paper saving tip that I learned from my friend Connie, because once I put my layer on, you can't see that piece. Okay, so we saved that little piece of paper. We're going to need that, so don't throw that away. I'm going to be using some Tombow multi-purpose adhesive today, and I like using this especially when we have embossed pieces of paper or heavier layers, because once you put this in, it will get inside of all those creases and those embossed edges. Okay, so you just need a little bit. All right, we tease at my class this Tombow glue just lasts forever, and so I tell people, okay, whoever's the first one that can actually empty the Tombow container will get a quarter. I haven't had to pay that out too many times because it just seems like this glue just lasts, like I said, forever. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. I've just attached that. Put that aside. And now I'm going to take my 1 1/4 inch square that I punched out, and I'm going to grab my Simply Scored scoring plate, okay? And I don't know if you can see that, I have one of my markers here because, like I said, we did this card at my clubs. I'm going to take the stylus that comes with the paper, with the Simply Scored, and I'm using the fatter ball. The skinnier ball or smaller ball tends to cut our cardstock, so you want to use the fatter ball. And I'm just going to use this like a pencil, and I have scored my piece, okay, so that it's very easy to fold. Then going to take my snips, and I'm going to make a little envelope Just going to go about like that, and then take this on the other side from the score line to where I cut and make a little envelope. There you go. How cute is that? Okay. Let me set this aside. And now I want a little bit of bling. I want to take one of the rhinestones that we sell, that from Stampin' Up, and I'm just going to go, whoops, let me put this down. I'm just going to go underneath it with my snip, and there, can you see it? It's right on the tip. It's very tiny. And then I'm going to just stick that down, use my finger, and then hold it down. Okay, so now I have added a little bit of bling. I know that sometimes when I score, it comes in very handy. If I just take my bone folder and go ahead and give that a nice crease, it will help my score lines do better. And now I'm just going to take and put a little bit of Tombow on the back of my envelope, if you would, and stick that down. Okay. And then again, another little dot inside. You don't want to use too much because it will squirt out of there. Okay, so now I have that. And now I want to score my Whisper White base. And this is my base, and it is 5.5 by 8.5. And I want to score it at 4 1/4. Okay, then I want to take my card and again use a little bit of Tombow. Okay, go ahead and put that on the back and then mount it on my base. And that, my friends, is a very fast, easy, elegant card. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time. Bye, stamping friends.